Hello and welcome to Full Colour Celluloid. I'm Led Sharp and this one's going to be all about Thor on film for quite a few reasons. 1. Thor's my all-time favourite superhero and probable comic book character. 2. Thor Love and Thunder's just come out. 3. I've just been watching the first Thor film and there's a few things I want to get off my chest. Now, to qualify a lot of this statement, there's not a single MCU film I wouldn't give below a 7 out of 10 to. A lot of them are really spot on. They adapt the material brilliantly. Yes, they take liberties. Yes, they have to change things. I don't honestly care. Mainly because I prefer the source material. And I've got the source material. So I'm happy. Watching these characters come to life in their essence on the screen is way more important than the X-Men turning up in Civil War, for example. Now, I will be doing a much bigger video on the MCU at a later date. But for now, just understand that where I'm coming from, the MCU to me is a lot like Star Trek to Trekkies, or Star Wars to Jedi, or Transformers to Transformers fans. Thinking of youth, you. Anyway. So, Thor on film, and I have to wonder whether Captain America fans, Iron Man fans, both the Ant-Man fans, all have the same feelings I do regarding their characters. Yeah, this is great. But it's not what's on the comic. And that's a little bit unfair because, like I said, they take liberties, they adapt, they have to change. They're squeezing 30 issues into 2 hours. And I get it. I truly, truly get it. Visually, the Thor films are pretty damn good. You've got multiple variations of a theme in the comics anyway, from various different artists and so on and so forth. The films do a damn good job of adapting them visually. They do a damn good job of adapting them character-wise. And the effects are always good, the scripts are always good, the stories are always strong, the plots are always pretty powerful. And where it starts to fall apart, though, is the character itself. Now, I'm one of these weirdos that wasn't keen on Ragnarok. I actually prefer Love and Thunder. Ragnarok destroyed some of its dramatic beats with not inappropriate humour, but misplaced humour. Thor throwing the ball at the thing, bouncing off his head, knocking him down, turning around at the beginning with Searcher, Asgard blowing up at the end, and you've got Korg going, oh yeah, the foundations will be good. It's like, shut up, let's watch this dramatic moment where all these characters have to watch their home exploding in front of them, and it ruined this beat in the film for me. It had its fist pumping moments, it had drama, it had pathos. It didn't ruin everything with beats. The bit where Odin dies and the bit at the end when he gets the lightning bolt and stuff, yeah, it's all good. I enjoyed it, but it's not Thor that I want, and that I found a little bit frustrating. I mean, same way I should imagine the Hulk fans found the fact that they adapted Planet Hulk on the sly. Anyway, Thor Love and Thunder paces itself a little bit better. Production wise, it's fine. Visually, it's fine. They get Walt Simonson's space armor in there. They get the Goat's Tooth Grinder and Tooth Gnasher in there at last, which is cool. They got a few other bits and pieces in there which I won't spoil. There are a few story elements that I didn't expect, which were great. There were a couple of things that did cheese me off. Some of the humour at the beginning was a little bit, oh, could you just stop? And for me, as good as Christian Bale was as Thor, as Gore, the God Butcher, he could have been so much better. It did look like they got him from Wish. Now, I know everybody's going to moan and say, oh, well, they couldn't emote with CGI on his face. Bill Nighy, Davy Jones in Pirates of the Caribbean, did it perfectly, and I've seen it done in several other things as well. That being said, the makeup's still good, the costume's still acceptable, the whole thing works. He's more like a mad monk with a big sword, which is absolutely okay for an adaptation. Still would have liked to have seen it from the comic, which is kind of where I'm coming from, because Thor is all about responsibility and earning your worth and trying to find the perfect work-life balance, which is probably why he appeals to me so much. He has to find a place between being a superhero, a god, a prince, and now a king. And it's kind of difficult. And all of this weighs so heavy on him sometimes he can't even pick up the damn hammer. And it works. And I love the character for that. And you can get away with him being a drunken, arrogant braggart because every now and again he wants to let off steam. And when he's serious, oh boy is he serious, he takes it so far the other way. And I feel that that's what's missing from Taika Waititi's version of Thor, is that level of seriousness. That when he is serious, he needs to be serious. When he's funny, he can be funny as heck. But give us the other side as well. Now, the beats in Thor Love and Thunder do give us some very serious moments that hit home. They are powerful. A couple of genuine fist pumping moments as well. A couple of bits that had me in tears. And it's a good film. It's a better film than Ragnarok. I just feel they could have made that better with more from the comic. You see, if you're going to compare what Thor Love and Thunder lifted from the comics to the comic story itself, I completely understand. Go back to what I said about, 30 odd issues into 2-hour film. I completely get it. But in the comic, you had Thor from the past, Thor from the present, Thor from the future, who was fighting Galactus at the time, having to fight Gore the God Butcher, who's wiping out pantheons of gods with the Necroblade, which is from the symbiote race, which is Venom, by the way. Another thing they probably couldn't include. And it all gets epic. You've got Thor with 2 Mjolnirs wrapped in the Necroblade, blowing Gore away, and it's like, wow. Powerful, dramatic, proving that Thor is the hero that he wants to be, proving that he turns into a king that he has to be, coming from an arrogant tosspot that he used to be. And all this balances perfectly, and I get why they can't do it in a film. They involve elements from the Mighty Thor, which is where Jane is Thor, and some of the stuff I did not see coming, I was really happy they put in there. Plus a few other bits which I wasn't happy that they were in there, but I'm like, okay, yeah, you get it. This is good. This is good Thor, if you see what I mean. I like what they did. And when you know, like I said, other fans probably get this as well, when you know the enormity of the source material and you see it being translated into good, solid, but entertainment, I know that I'm never going to see the comics on the screen, and it's a little bit frustrating, and that's probably where it comes from me. I want to see my Thor on screen. Instead, I have fun Thor, which is enjoyable, and he swings the hammer and he says the things and does the stuff, and I'm happy for the 2 hours I'm watching the film. And then I'll go home and I'll read a hefty chunk of Walt Simonson's run and go, God, I need to see Beta Ray Bill in the films. I don't want to see Taika Waititi doing it, but I need to see Beta Ray Bill in the films. I'd like to see War of the Realms in the films, but they can't because Melkith's gone. And that's where I'm coming from. I like the Thor films, but I'd love to love the Thor films. I'd love to go, oh yeah, these are great adaptations. These are great examples of what's in the comic. And I don't feel as if I can do that, which is a shame. It's like somebody who wanted to get more into Thor would go out and buy Gore the God Butcher and go, well, it looks good and it reads well, but whoa. You know what I mean? If I had to rank all the Thor films, I think the first one's probably my favourite. I loved Thor the Dark World. I understand people's problems with it, but I loved it. Then Thor Love and Thunder, then Ragnarok. And yeah, Thor, I really wish they could just put him on film. I love Chris Hemsworth. I think the character needs to mature a little. I love what they did at the end of Love and Thunder. That will probably lead to that. And I do want a Thor 5, so that's a big plus as well. Yeah, there you go. Thor Love and Thunder, 8 out of 10, because I have to give Thor Ragnarok a 7 out of 10.